The Premier League's financial environment makes it difficult for teams outside of the top 6 to compete for the best players, and yet the rest of the league still manage to sign players of an excellent quality. Whether it's Burnley signing James Tarkowski when clubs like Liverpool and Arsenal were in desperate need of centre-backs, or Wilfred Ndidi signing for Leicester City when Manchester United signed Nemanja Matic for more than double the price just 6 months later. Some smaller clubs do this by engendering a level of astuteness in their player acquisition and scouting that can compensate for their financial disadvantage. This is often due to certain inherent advantages the smaller teams have that cannot exist at larger clubs. They can give players more game time, as they'd have to compete with players of a higher standard at the bigger clubs. Clubs like Leicester City, Everton and Bournemouth have built a reputation for being willing to give young players chances. But this advantage can work with older players as well. Sean Dyche has created a climate at Burnley that makes older players, who may have failed to impress elsewhere, feel valued. The other crucial advantage that small clubs have is their greater risk tolerance when it comes to transfers. The bigger sides will sometimes be reluctant to sign players from the lower leagues, for example, based on their perceived lower quality, and this leaves a void that teams outside of the top 6 can fill. Jordan Pickford and Lewis Cook are both good examples of this. Pickford was perhaps the lone positive in a dreadful season for Sunderland, and both Liverpool and Arsenal were in dire need of a better goalkeeper. Similarly, Cook was playing phenomenally well at Leeds and displayed all the attributes necessary to be a top midfielder in the modern game. Both Everton and Bournemouth were willing to take potential short-term losses for greater long-term gains, knowing that giving game time to these young players would potentially enable them to dramatically improve. Primarily, the development of statistical analysis in football and its role in buying players has greatly evened the playing field in scouting talent. Spending big on a large scouting network that can be in multiple countries is, while still important, not as crucial as in years past, because small teams of analysts can look at a large amount of data from companies like Scout and Opta to extract crucial information regarding players. This access to statistics, combined with the ability to attract excelling players from smaller clubs, enables teams to acquire players who are not just talented, but can also serve specific functions that improve the whole team. Now, this is especially helpful for teams with a specific way of playing, and the prime example of this was Burnley's signing of James Tarkowski. Now, Tarkowski was a highly rated young English centre-back at Brentford. He was quite a gracious and elegant defender who was solid and disciplined defensively and was capable of playing long raking passes from the back and carrying the ball forwards. As such, it seemed rather odd for him to join Burnley, a team that's known for its no-nonsense approach to defending. In Burnley's case, the low block is designed to funnel shots towards the centre of the goal and encourage teams to shoot from range by employing 2 compact lines of 4 to compress space in the box. It's a system that requires discipline, intelligence and aerial prowess from the centre-backs. While Tarkowski's style of play was vastly different from Michael Keane and Ben Mee, the following stats from Squawka showcase that Tarkowski did have the necessary attributes to fit the Dyche system. He had minimal defensive errors, no dismissals and only 4 yellow cards in his previous season, and he won a significant proportion of aerial duels. With more complex metrics alongside these, Dyche could also see that Tarkowski would bring different elements to Burnley's passing, as he usually passed longer than Mee and Keane, which could help assist their direct style of attack. Burnley used statistics to look beyond the stereotype. More examples can be found at Leicester City, who have unearthed talents like N'Golo Kante, Wilfred Ndidi and Riyad Mahrez over the past few years. In an interview with Leicester Mercury, former scouting and recruitment analyst Rob McKenzie detailed the functions of the statistics used by the scouting team, stating that they were able to track the movement of players on and off the ball and how that compared to the players Leicester had at the time. McKenzie also said that the Leicester recruitment team used specific indexes that detailed information about a specific statistic. For example, when detailing the signing of Riyad Mahrez, McKenzie said, "We had a positive index for the use of the ball and how successful they are, and Riyad scored very highly. He was always looking to do something positive with the ball and was successful." The financial gap in football is only getting larger, but that is certainly not the case when it comes to scouting. Smaller teams will always have some advantages over the bigger teams in their ability to guarantee game time and take more risks in player recruitment. This tailors their focus to players who do well in lower leagues, and the use of statistics can enable them to find those players who can fit and add to their specific team style. Teams outside of the top 6 have shown intelligence and innovation in their ability to get the best talent that goes unnoticed by the marquee clubs in England.